I would like to go for the first question. And what's your name? What's your company called? And what manufacturing services do you offer?
My name is Rocky Parkerton. I own and operate, along with two business partners, AZ3D Print, and we're a service provider that has MJF printing, 5-axis CNC, wire EDM, scanning services, engineering, that kind of thing. And we also have a secondary brand where we make our own products called Regolith Forge.
What is the big pain point that Phasio solved with you and for you?
The biggest and first thing that Fazio did for us was streamline our quotation process uh, up for our customer side. And just as a back end um, service that Fazio provides to us, it's invaluable because it saves us, untold amounts of time in getting stuff together, figuring out material costs, figuring out what the time and turnaround is, but also organization. So it acts a lot like an ERP system where we can have a board open where it's got incoming jobs, jobs that are in process, jobs that are shipping, that type of thing, and it really helps with our organization. Um, and on the front end, allowing a number of our customers to just be able to go into their account for us and drag and drop files and ask for quotes without having to place a phone call, without having to do, any other ancillary things in order to get, a job running, especially if it's repeat jobs, that kind of thing.
And how did the setup go and how's the support? How was your impression of the support so far?
Uh, Ludwig is our main contact for support, and it's always really prompt. We've probably, geez, what's it been, 2.5 years now? I think that we've been with Fazio at least, and we've probably run into a dozen, things where it was a change we needed made because we were seeing analytics through Fazio that didn't work for, or that needed to be updated because material prices change, or all of the other things that happen pretty much on a monthly and quarterly kind of basis. And Fazio is always right there with an answer, with a way to help. Developing, new ways of quoting parts has always been really painless. I've had an experience with another service provider like Fazio where I felt like I was getting thrown into the deep end of the pool every time I had any kind of issue like that, where they were like, yeah, okay, we'll help you. That'll cost you an extra X number of $1,000 for us to make this change for you rather than let you figure it out yourself. And I've never had that kind of interaction with Fazio, and it's been really nice.
Well, thank you for saying that. And who would you recommend Phasio to and why?
I would recommend Fazio to anybody who is in the business of 3D printing, from the person who's got 50 little Elegoo printers in their living room, and they're just trying to churn out parts to put on Etsy, uh, all the way down to people like us who we've got a full-blown manufacturing, shop, and we're growing. So the being able to use the tools in Fazio are, yeah, I don't want to name names, but it's better than the half dozen other systems out there that I've used previously, both here and at other shops that I've worked for. The interaction with Fazio has always been better. The uh, the work product that Fazio has put out has always been better because everybody over at Fazio is actually listening to the customers. You say, hey, I've got a problem and this is something we'd like to see added, or this is, another feature that we think is missing. And Fazio's always been responsive.
How can you sign up for Phasio? How can you get started?
You can go to Fazio's website and self sign up. Um, Everything with Phasio has been really simple. We were onboarded very, very early before they had all of the functionality that they have now, and they're still building their product. Um, but it's as simple as go and check out Phasio, and go through their website, see if it's going to meet your needs, and if it looks like it's going to help, we're pretty sure it's gonna work for anybody who's doing anything like what we're doing here. Um, yeah, it's good stuff.
Thank you. Rocky, thank you for your time and thank you for sharing all of this. It's very much appreciated.
I appreciate you, Ludwig.